Here are the questions. Okay, I think now we're live on YouTube, so we can start here to introduce ourselves. I'm going to start so everybody can know a little bit more about me. I'm El Tavares. I'm from São Paulo. I live here. I like to study languages. I intend to work with them in the future as a translator, interpreter, something like that. I love animals. I love eating, and that's it about me. What about you, Lourdes?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lourdes. I'm from Porto Alegre. I am nurse, but I am retired. I like to study language too. I study English and Italian too. In my free time, I like to take care the garden and the one vegetable garden that we have to plant the vegetable to donut everything. And it's
Okay, very nice. And what about you, Osvaldo? Can you say something about you?
Yeah, I have to say that when I started to study practicing speaking English here, I was not sure if I liked to study English, but I realized that I like to do this the way that the talk immersions and talk planning works is good for me. I can learn and about the language and another interesting topic. So I really like this. I can know interesting people with different histories and views, and it complement myself with my view. Yeah, I consider a curious person because I like to learn about interesting topics. The topic that we are talking today is interesting, my perspective. And I'm a software developer for almost 4 years. I will complete this next December. Next December, yeah. Yeah, I think in summary, that's it.
Okay,
Thank you.
interesting. And what about you, Leon? What can you say?
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Leon. My real name is Lee Anderson, but you can call me just Leon. It's an easier nickname. I'm from São Paulo. I'm 23, and I work as a software developer. And in my free time, I like to play keyboard.
Okay, nice. And Anderson?
Good night. Good morning. My name is Anderson. I I am 46 years old. I was born in the Porto Alegre, but I currently live in the Ponta Grossa in Perna. I have been married for 18 years to Rafaela. I have we we had three children, and two dogs. I am a business administration of a chemical chemical factory in the asphalt pavement. I have been work here since uh, six 2000, 2006, and I really enjoy my work. I I lived in Rio de Janeiro for 5 years, and it was very cool. I think Rio de Janeiro is very beautiful with many natural beauties. Eh, yeah, I am my spare time. I like to run outdoors, exercise. I like to make up early. I love it to play with my children, enjoy my family and my wife. Uh, I love the beach and I really like sun and sunny days. I like it. I like the life. Uh, Just it.
Okay, interesting. And what about you, João? What can you say? João? Yeah.
Oh, yes, I have a problem, but now it's okay. I am developer. I am 53. I am married. Uh, I have two sons. Nathan is 14, and Gabriel is 12. Okay, that's it. I I am from Rio, but I have been living in Portugal. Okay, around almost 3 years. Okay, uh, uh, I don't have pet. I love to read books. I love swim. I love beach. I am from here. I love beach, of course. Well, uh, that's it.
Okay, very nice. And what about you, Yanka?
Guys, my name is Yanka. I am 28 years old. I was born in Itaquera, São Paulo. I am Corintiana and I am suffering a lot. Yes, Liam, we don't give up, never. Nowadays, I'm living in Campinas, doing my PhD in here. I am a demographer, study population. I live in here with two cats, Mary and Cariani. And in my free time, I like to work out, to have a time to myself. I'm trying to balance time to myself and work during the day. And I think it's that.
Very nice. And for last but not least, Belle, what can you say?
Hello, everyone. Morning. So, guys, I'm Belle. I'm 29. I live in Salvador. I work like an air traffic controller. And about me, I'm a home bar person and a morning person too. And nowadays, I start to study human resource. And in my free time, I like ride on bike, spend time with my dogs because, by the way, I have two dogs. And yeah, that's it for the moment.
Okay, interesting. So, guys, here in the platform, here's our platform where we can practice our English, Spanish, Italian, French, Mandarin. So, here's a safe place to make mistakes. We are not here to judge anybody. So, please be respectful. And as we are in 8 people, I'm going to split the room so everybody can have more time to speak, okay? And for the ones who are going to be in the other room, please be respectful with each other and just maybe choose a person to guide a little bit the conversation if that's necessary, okay? 10 minutes before, I think I'll call everyone back to the main room and then we'll continue the meet, okay? So if you have received an invitation, please accept and we'll see you.
See you guys.
See you.
See you. Okay, I think now that's it. Great that it was in the first try. So guys, now everyone has the questions. So, Belle, can you read and answer the first question for us?
Of course. Let me see. Question number 1. What is the purpose of the voice in our mind? When I read that question, maybe my connection it's freezing. Sorry, but I will try continuous. Okay.
That's
Please
okay.
report me. Okay, yeah. So when I read that question, I just remember about protect myself. Yeah, it's like when I felt fear, for example, it's because there are something advise me about some problem. or some problem. So I think the purpose it's protect myself or try have a inner conversation, but sometimes that can be it's not so good because I can freeze about some situation. Yeah, I think it's that at the first moment, but I can change that answer after. Okay, but at first moment, maybe protect myself or reflected about something. I think.
Okay, interesting. And what about you, Lourdes? Having in mind that the topic is talking to ourselves.
Yes, it is a good way to help us get a good decision where you are in your voice or mind speaking with us. We can learning and take a good decisions in our life. It is a good way for us, I think.
Okay. And how about you, Leon? How's that?
Well, maybe the purpose is stop us from doing wrong things.
Yeah, I see it. I agree with what everybody said. I think it's like a person, a person that is in our minds that sometimes we can talk to them, maybe like, and we can use it to find out different things, to discuss about things that we're not sure if that's the right thing to do, but we think with our voice in our mind, like, what if I do that? But what if I don't? What's going to happen? So maybe that's a great thing that we have in our minds to help us to make decisions, to think more, I think in general. But that's it. So, Lourdes, about the second question, does this voice ever give you advice?
Yes, in adulthood, this same type of inner speak continues to support working in our memory along with other types or connective processes. It is thoughts that internal something dialogue of us helps you complex every task, example, or such your job when you are working. It is help us to get a good decision or advice in your life. Still not everyone experience in your life help us. I think the people don't use to listening themselves, but it's a good advice, I think.
Yeah, I see it. How's that for you, Ian?
Uh, I agree with Lourdes, but the same voice in the same head can give us bad advice sometimes. So I consider that relevant because the same voice can give us good advices, but sometimes it's not a real good advice. So good, you know.
Yeah. Can you give an example? I'm trying to think about that.
Well, for example, sometimes, in my case, sometimes uh, I usually hear that voice and I have the impression that this is only my inner teenager waiting to have fun. So I need to check if makes sense to hear that voice, you know.
Okay, I see it. A different perspective of the same thing. and interesting because it's part of us, so we can't change that. But having it for both sides, for the good one, like helping you to make decisions and all, but for the side that Leon mentioned, that is to maybe to listen to the voice when it's not great for us, maybe to do some things that is not what we should do, but we do because we listened to the voice maybe. And how do you see it, Belle? Go ahead.
Yeah, so uh, I totally understand. I totally feel you, Liam, when you say about sometimes it's not a good advice because, for example, I feel that when I have a challenge in my life or when I need to do one thing for the first time or when I have some tests at my work or my college, for example, or during my college. Yeah, something like that. Like a just example. When I have that kind of challenge, sometimes I feel afraid or insecure to do something. And sometimes that voice can advise me because it's a new situation and I don't believe myself. It's like so that advice say me something like it's better you don't try to do that or it's you just stay with what do you like to do in the normal or daily. So it's like that. I could realize in that point. But the most part of the time, I think that voice, when you have control about that, can help you. Yeah. Like to be aware about a hard situation or when you need to do a decision, for example. And by the way, yesterday I was in the talker and I realized the most part of the choice that you need to do in our day, it's unconsciously. Yeah, we don't think about that. We just do because involve our emotions or feelings. And you just don't think about it when you need to make a decision. We just do. Only 5% of all decisions we need to do on during the day, for example, we think about it. The other is just control about feelings or emotions. Yeah. So, but is that all the time I have a other Belle here in my mind, and I need to talk with her, and I try have a conclusion or word up about some topics. Yeah. And sometimes I have a good moment or good advice, and in other times when I don't put my concentration or don't give importance, that can be maybe I have bad advices. I think.
I see it. That's a great example. Like this voice can I don't know if you said the word, but alertar us because we be more aware of the situation, so we kind of stay in the front line thinking about what will happen if I do that, what will happen if I don't do that, and then that little voice makes us get more information about that, about where we intend to go, to see if that's really the right thing to do or not. But sometimes cannot be sure, 100% sure, of course. But so this voice will always be with us. But when we see it's safe to go there, to go for it, then I think that's okay. That's okay to guide, even though there will always be a little voice here asking if that's really the right thing to do. But that's it. And Liam, how can this voice influence our decisions? How do you see it?
Well, well, I think it can only influence when we are because if you are sure with something, this voice have no value.
I see it. And you, Belle, do you agree with him?
Yeah, of course. I think it is this the same thing about Liam, but I will just complement with the idea when you are aligned with your values, it's easy to use that voice in the positive way. Yeah, but it's the same point.
Yeah, I see it. It's like that. Yeah, when we have our values like so strong in us, like in ourselves, that even this little voice, the voice in our mind, or even though other people telling the opposite, telling something bad, negative things, you won't even listen to them, because you know who you are. You're not the other kind of person. Well, who you truly are. So that's it. And how about you, Lourdes? How's that for you? I think you're muted. Yeah.
I agree that people can be influenced to make decisions throughout a combination of factors. Example, including information, incentives, values, norms, and like a social influence. It's important. And while a lack of the information can sometimes lead to poor decisions, it can be simple. Provide information is often insufficient. Can be changing. It's impossible to change your decision making, because the social influence is one value that you can get your decision of your influence in the decision in your mind. I agree. It is this.
Interesting, right? This is
Yes.
a great question. Um, as you guys said, I think it's depends, like this voice influences, but for which side? For the positive side or the negative one? So it's great to think, to reflect about it, so we can concentrate more in our decisions, like in to do things more intentionally, not just to listen maybe to the voice that is saying some negative things, for example, if that's not the right thing, if that's not the good thing to do.
And our
So
mind is always working, and you need to take care of our mind.
yeah, the
And
mental health.
mental health is a good way for us to stay good health, physical health too.
I see it. I totally agree. It's related. If our mind isn't great, isn't working well, everything of the body of the person will be bad after that, because it's so important to be healthy about our mental health and physical health too. So we should always take care of ourselves, basically. So, Leon, can you read and answer the next question for us?
Okay. Is the voice in your mind more positive or negative? Well, in my case, I don't usually hear that voice telling me good advice, real good advice. I use that voice a lot when I kidding with my children, because I need to be creative. I need to be nice, cool. But it's like I said, many times it's on my inner teenager waiting, wanting to happen.
Okay, and what about you, Belle?
Yeah, I think it's more positive. But just when you are aware about situation, I think when you don't, it's not possible give attention at that situation can be a negative, but you just will choose the option maybe in the negative way. But it depends. I think you just need to think about the purpose that voice. What do you want? What that voice say? And sometimes it's necessary try to do new things. For example, when that voice tell you about give up and don't try to do a new things. For example, yeah, it depends. I really don't know explain that, but I'm trying use in the positive way and have that kind of inner conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to be aligned, if that's a word, with your own self so you can, I don't know, be better, you can improve more, you can think differently, you can think more effectively. So I think it's important to see that, to reflect about it. And what about you, Lourdes?
Uh, it's important to talk about this and think about this because a critical inner voice may develop during times of extreme stress. It is also something sometimes seen in mental health conditions such as anxiety and depression. Is in many cases, in such cases, your mind engaging in a negative self-talk by criticizing the way you work, socialize, participate in example, in your family circles and more. If you are extremely stressed, you can get the negative voice. If you are in more positive cases, more positive, is different, and you can get a good voices too.
Okay, I see it. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like, if you start thinking on the negative side of things in general, listening to the voice, I think it concentrates more in our minds. So everything will tend to the negative side sometimes, and the opposite too. If you think positive, see the great side of things, maybe that can bring more positive, how positive, oh my god,
Positive,
positivity. Yeah, that's
yes.
it. And in my case, I think it's more positive too, like my inner voice. But yeah, it's great to have a balance, like having more positive, but having the negative too, so we can be aware, as we all said, of and have these critic thoughts about things, to
And
analyze things.
one way is to do a meditation and help us to have a good mental health, and we can get a inner voice better.
Yeah,
Is
that's
one
it.
way, and we will need to start this way to have avoid this stress, avoid um, the health decision, the health the disease too. mental health example.
Yeah, I see it. So, Belle, can you read and answer the next question? Number 5.
The 5, yeah. Number 5 is the voice in our mind a reflection of our thoughts? I think it's the same thing. For me, yeah, for me it's the same thing. But what can be different? It's because reflection, we can use different thoughts. Yeah, you think about something, but you think in the other point or in the other point of view. Maybe reflection is that when you have two points of view or two perspective about something, and you need to choose what do you prefer or what is better for you. And because I try mentioned before about to be aligned about your values. I think all the time you need to you need back for your values and look and discover yourself all the time. Yeah. Each decision that you need to do, you will discover yourself, maybe because you try align your decision about what do you want or what do you want to be in the future. But for me, it's the same thing, but reflection, it's like think about something and think again and again and have a conclusion about it or have a decision about that. Maybe it's that. I don't know if all have the same conception, but if someone have a different point of view about reflections and thoughts, please give me, because for me it's the same thing.
How do you see it, Burgess? You're muted.
Classic.
Okay. Is the voice in your mind a reflection of your thoughts? I agree. It's help us to have a constant dialogue going on in our brain, because when we could speak example, speaking aloud when I were learning English or other language is one way to help us learning this language. And if you are you forget the conversation of yourself, we remember the things. It is one way to we have inner voice. The voice can hear you and your head, and you help us head to get a good reflection or not of your personal beliefs, and create can you help you create multiple reflections in your mind. And I agree, it is one way you can know yourself in your mind. It's this.
Interesting. Yeah, I was muted now. But what about Julian? Do you agree with the girls?
Well, I believe so. I think this voice says what we really want. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think I see it as different things. Maybe it's difficult to separate them, like reflection, the voice in our minds to our thoughts. But I think it can be different. Like if you think about if you're a pessimist, I don't know if that's the word, but if you only pay attention to the negative things, negative side of things, negative situations, I think the voice will understand that, and then they will keep saying that to you. So yeah, no, everything will go wrong. You shouldn't do that. You're going to fail at that test. So now maybe that's a different point. Oh my God, I'm sorry. That's a different point. Like it's a second part of it, you know. So that's it for me. So what about you, Lourdes? Can you read and answer the next question?
It's question 6. Can you control this voice? Sometimes yes, sometimes not. I agree. Sometimes we can control the voice. Sometimes we can't control this voice because depend of our how we are, if you are in good time or not, negative time. It is difficult to control this voice. I agree.
I see it. And how's that for you, Belle? Is it difficult? Can we control this voice?
Yeah, I think it's possible to have control about it, but sometimes it's not. When you don't be aware about some situation, you just will follow, or maybe when you don't have time for choose another option or listen that voice, it just continues. Or when you have some problems or emotional problems, maybe you just will follow that and you don't have control. Maybe I think.
Okay, interesting. And how's that for you, William? What's
Well,
your
I agree with Bell. I consider it's not possible to control this voice, but we have to be carefully to evaluate if that voice saying, uh, because sometimes it may be a good idea, but to control this voice is not possible, in my opinion. Maybe the best way to do that is, I don't know, going to therapy.
Yeah, see it. I think I believe that sometimes it can be compared to other people too. Like it's another other point of view. Like and sometimes people are just on your ear saying things and what you should do or what you should not. So I think it's kind of related. It's kind of we can compare the voice with another person if that's what the person does because it's something that um, I think we can't control too. I think we can guide, like if that's positive, if this voice says positive things or bad things, negative things, but I don't think for the moment that it's possible to let me see to control that. I think it's as another thing, you know. So it's just it makes us reflect more about things, and I don't think we can really control it. We can try, but that's it. That's what I think. So, Lourdes, can you read and answer the next question?
How do our beliefs and values shape this voice? I agree that our experiences, our attitudes or beliefs are part of what make you who you are. This affects how you think, what do you do, and how do you do it. Is come how you had your experiences, relationships, or education, how you living with your family and social relationships. Ship is one way help us to shape our voice. I think it is this.
Okay, interesting.
How in our relation around us, our family, our husband, or son, example, my life, and the neighbors, education, graduation, working around us.
I see it. Yeah, it's interesting to think about it. And how do you see it, Leon? How's that for you?
Well, we are in the seventh question, right?
Right.
Okay, so uh, I think the voice is our real desires trying to come out. Even these desires can be good or can be bad or evil. It's ours. So I believe that maybe this voice is trying to tell you bad advice. It's because you really want that.
That can happen. I think stopping like to see it now, to reflect more about it now, I think it can be part, yeah, of the process. Maybe it's we just don't want to accept it that we want that, but that inner voice says that to us, and maybe we avoid that every way possible we can, but sometimes it can be something that we really wanted. Yeah. And how do you see it, Belle? How's that?
So I was thought about Leon's answer. It's really one answer. I never thought about it, but that can be true, maybe, yeah. Because there is a sentence, the sentence, it's like my mother said, it's a part of the sentence, okay? And when you need to choose some option, and it's so hard for you, it's because you have that choices. So it's like you have the option, you know what do you want, but you just don't confess that. I think it's like that. And maybe that's voice. It's like when you try um, give some rational reasons for that. Maybe, yeah. It's just my my reflections about that conversation. But yeah, when he brought that kind of thoughts, for me it makes sense. So but let me see, I totally agree, the voice are shaping for our beliefs or values, and because we are that, yeah, we are a lot of less experience, or what do you live in the past. And yeah, I think it's that. But makes sense a lot what Liam said. Maybe that's voice, it's just what to want, but to have a conversation because you don't want to confess that for others, maybe, or don't want to express that option for the others, maybe.
Interesting to think about it. And what you said, Belle, I don't know from where it is, but I know there's a thing, I don't know, but when you kind of know in your mind what you wanted to do, wanted to choose, but then you flip a coin, and then it's not the side that will decide, but it's in the process of it flipping on the air that you realize which option do you really wanted it to be. So it's kind of related to what you said, and it's like different to stop to think about it, because I think in the daily life we don't really think about it. but it's great to have these moments. So very nice, guys. And how was the conversation in the other room, guys who were there? Can somebody tell me something? Bianca, João,
It was
Anderson?
really nice to think about this voice. I I felt myself as a not just myself, but the whole topic as a little bit schizophrenic topic because we have voices in our mind, in our minds talking with us, and sometimes directing us to a good way or a bad way, or just reflect about the decisions that we have to make during the life. But it was nice to think about this voice. Yeah.
Great. I'm really glad we all are here. And I want to know about you, Anderson. How was that? How was that for you?
Very good. It's very good. My we conversation very good because this voice is this voice uh, está in all the ments and every day in every people in the you have a two voice, né? Good voice and bad voice. E uh, o- uh, bad the listen good voice, good decision, but you uh, bad voice, uh, bad decisions for life. Understand? But very good the conversation. Other room.
Very nice. I want to ask everybody one more question that is not on the list, but I would like everybody to answer. And the question of $1,000 is, no, just kidding, is what did you learn today? It can be about the language or about the life, lesson of life, but just tell something that you learned, okay? So, João, can you start?
Okay. About the chat or the talk with my friends, my colleagues. I am a trait of the questions like my honest, okay, honest. Then we discussing about a few things. I learn in English new words like I take note the new words, including we discussed about different points like Yanka told before, like schizophreny, like that. Then I don't think like that before. Uh, I think really think that. Then is a good point to meditation about that influence in my life. Okay, in my reaction, then or in my acts. Then I learned that I need treat that is more be careful to my life. Okay, I think
Okay,
that's it.
interesting. Yeah, very nice. And what about Julian? What did you learn today?
Well, not today, but in all classes in Talk and Talk, sometimes I need to think what I'm talking about, and because I don't like to speak wrong, to tell something wrong. But I guess with these classes, I am more faster about it. So I'm speaking more fluently, more more better, and yeah, uh, it 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 been very good for me.
Very nice. That's amazing. seeing this evolution of everyone here. It's so great. And what about you, Lourdes? What did you learn?
I learned that we needed to learning to choose yourself. Example, listening yourself, and like Yanka said, it is not always schizophrenic, but we need listening us. When we are listening our mind, it is a good voice, a good way to get a good decision or bad decision. It's one point because it depends that where you or how you are. If you are in good moment, we get a good decision. If you had a bad moment, we will get a bad decision too. And extractful is one way to you get a bad decision. And one way is start to do a meditation. But a meditation is one way to help us to get a good mind, good health, and help us get a good decision too.
Great. That's it. And how about you, Anderson? What did you learn? You're muted. Yeah. Let me see.
Oi,
Yeah.
sorry. Repeat question for me, please.
What did you learn?
I don't understand.
O que você,
What did you? Learn. O que que eu ouço?
o que
Ah,
você aprendeu?
I aprendi. I learn the. I learn. Oh, listen. Good voice. I learned. Because I I I believe with good voice uh, uh, went my better in my life. I listen good voice every day, every hour, because I learn que she voice is very good for me. In the Pues she better decisions for my life, my family. And when a bad voice happen, I don't listen. Just I don't listen. I identification with bad voice, and I get bad voice. I bad decision. I don't listen. Just I listen. Always good voice. Understand? But it's learning with me.
Yeah, it's great to filter that, the
Yes.
good, the positive one, and the negative one.
Yes, because this decision and I decision listen bad voice, my decision vai levar para good time, understand? Good not, bad time, understand? Because eu decido o que escolher, mas não decido a consequência do que eu escolhi, entendeu? Se eu escolhi, uh, but I decision play on fire, my decision play on fire, but se queimar, I don't decision, understand? No, I'm not change because I decision play on fire. Então, Se eu escolhi brincar com fogo, eu vou me queimar.
That's it. And how's that for you, Belle? What did you learn?
Yeah, it was an amazing conversation. It's really interesting to talk about it. Yeah. And I realize it's really necessary to be aligned about your values. And I think about Leon said, I think of course it's probably he try or practice all the time here. But I think your answers were really good because he had conviction about what he believed. Yeah. So I think that's help us when you have some failures or clear failures in your life, we can explain more assertive. Yeah, but was amazing conversation. Thank you.
Great, very nice. And how about you, Osvaldo? What did you learn?
Yeah, I really appreciate our conversation because we could see the different views, like Lourdes, Bianca, Anderson was talking about. In my case, I have only a voice that advise me about good and bad things in my mind, not two voice like Bianca. Bianca was talking about she has two voice, a good and bad voice in her mind. My case is only a voice. And yeah, I think our belief influenced totally in this in the way that we think about our voice, you know. Yeah, in summary, that's it.
Very nice. I'm glad I'm here with everyone here. I really hope to see you guys again. I just sent the survey link on the chat, so if you guys can leave a comment telling how was the conversation, that would be amazing. Telling also any suggestions that you guys may have, so that we can discuss more about it in the next immersions, okay? If you guys want to be with me again, I have 2 immersions on Tuesdays. It's 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. So everybody's very welcome there, always. So thank you very much for being here, and I hope to see you again anytime.